for those of you who don't know me, my name is Johnny. This video is about how I got into Toastmasters because I just posted my speech. It's a unique way, actually. I became a board member for my local AFSCME 3299. It is a statewide UC union for all of the UC system in the state of California. And when I became that, I became the new fresh face of the board. And so I was introduced into speaking events, rallies, giving speeches, phone interviews, video interviews, radio interviews, and I just wasn't prepared for it. It was way too much. So when I kept denying it and denying doing all of these interviews, my manager at that time, or my boss at the time, just came to me and just told me that I needed to snap out of it, that I chose this role, that I became this leader, that I am standing in the front line, and I have to do my job, my due diligence, and I can't deny that. So the closer that I started to get to a certain event, the more I realized that I needed to really step my game up. And so I have a really good friend of mine, one of my best friends. She told me about Toastmasters. She said it was an international club that was specifically designed to help people get themselves into a position, whether it was to learn how to speak in public forums, whether it was learning how to do introductions to people, even down to how to do an interview or getting better at speaking English. That was also another commonality I heard. So when I was introduced to it, the best advice that I got was to go onto the website, which is Toastmasters.org, Toastmasters.org, my bad, and look in your region and look for different clubs that best suits you. There are clubs everywhere. For when I first started, of course, we were in person, and I narrowed it down to the days of the week that best suit me, that I was able to leave my responsibilities, whether it was church or things with the children, and be able to go to this meeting, however frequent they were. I ended up going into my club adventures that met every first, third, and fifth Thursday of the month, and that worked perfectly for me. The best tip that I got was to club hop, which was to go to different clubs that fit into the criteria of how you wanted to go to these meetings. Mine were Thursday nights. That's the only nights I can really give up. So I went to different clubs that started on Thursday night. And I probably went to about 4 to 5 before I just landed on the club that I'm currently president of. And the one thing that really kept me in the club is their welcoming spirit. It was absolutely the best feeling that I could have ever gotten, mainly because I wanted to make sure that if I'm going to be speaking in front of people and I'm already feeling vulnerable, that the critique that I was getting back didn't make me feel on the attack mode or in the judgmental mode, which is extremely, extremely important when you're trying to master a fear. And so I kept up with the club. I went from just being a regular member. September, I became Sergeant at Arms. And then in February, I was asked to be president. And so I became president of the club as of February 2020, and I have been the president since. And in that is how I got started in Toastmasters. It has definitely build my confidence up when it comes to speaking to the masses that I've spoken to. I have spoken at rallies that were well over 1,000 people. I have spoken at speeches that were over 500. I've taught classes from as small as 5 to 6 people all the way up to the 50 people. And to have that interaction, especially going from person into video and being able to know what your camera cues are, how to speak, time limit, and things like that, it is important, especially when you're trying to get a point out. Can't talk too much, can't talk too little, because you just want to give steak and potatoes. And that is what Toastmasters has helped me accomplish. It has helped me build my confidence. It has allowed me to trust my better judgment when it comes to certain topics or conversations that I'm going to have. And I recommend, honestly, with the bottom of my heart, that our youth need Toastmasters at least the last semester of senior year. Man, I am going to preach that, because I quickly see how our today's youth are so geared and guided into the media world, their phones and the computers, laptop, tablets, and not eye contact, not knowing how to handshake, not knowing how to really interview. And those old school traits are definitely new school when it comes to trying to get a job, if that is what your career is. Toastmasters, how I got started and where I'm at. I'm sure you'll hear a whole lot more when it comes to my journey and all the things that I've learned in the meantime. So until then, I will see you guys. Thank you so much for watching my quick little video, and I hope to see you guys again. Bye-bye.